Hello to my Our House Meriden art students. So I understand you have your watercolors. The first thing you're going to do is wet your watercolors with some water to get them nice and moist or juicy or wet. We're going to do two different projects today. So you're going to need a brush, your small brush. You're going to need paper towel or napkin. You're going to walk outside and pick some leaves. Hopefully something like this, not too small, not too big. They could be anything. This one has been painted, so it's a little warped. You're going to need a small leaf for feathers if you choose to use the feathers. And you're going to need a pencil and your watercolor paper. So what I did was I went in my pad, I took my full sheet and I folded it and I ripped it in half, or you could cut it yours in half, which would be better. Okay, first thing you're going to do is start with a light color of paint. So I'm going to start with yellow, and in the lid is where I put the paints to mix the color. So I'm going to take a little bit of green, and I'm trying for a really light color. Okay. Let's save that one. We'll just use yellow. All right, so just yellow. We're going to try and paint two circles side by side. So near the top edge of the paper, bigger than a quarter, there's one circle. There's another circle. Okay, we're gonna pick up another color. Yours can be anything. So with your second color, you're going to drop in the center, probably about 10 times. You're gonna dab, 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 staying in the center only. And we're gonna let that paint do its thing. Okay, I'm going to do another set of eyes down below. Again, they're about like a $50 size or a little bit bigger than a quarter. Don't want it too wet. Okay, pick up another color. Any color, let's try purple. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to let these dry. I'm gonna put them aside. Once they dry a little bit, we're going to draw in our owl. Now you don't have to do an owl. This one I did by a line across. I came around the top of the eye, ears, however you want to do them. The beak in the middle, or the nose, come down and up, and just start making shoulders. So here I have two owls. You could make raccoons, you could do frogs, you could do cats, dogs, whatever your heart desires. Any crazy looking eyes, because that's what's going to happen there. So we're going to let this dry. The next thing you're going to do is take your other sheet of paper, a different one, and we're going to paint the back side of a leaf. Now for this, you want the paint to not be so slippery wet. You want it to bead, like sort of repel off the paper, off the leaf, I mean. And I would paint it with a couple of colors. I'm gonna dry my brush. I'm gonna pick up some orange here. Now we'll see, this might be a little too wet. We're gonna flip it over Carefully push it down. Yeah, it might be a little too wet. There's one. Let's try another one. Better. All right. Let's try a different leaf. So we're gonna flip it over. Paint the back side. Again, try not to use too much water for your watercolors, which is a little crazy. But you want it to be a little bit, see like this, you can see like the green parts in between. Carefully flip it over and press it down. Take your time on this part. That's what it's supposed to look like. So that's okay. At least you can see. If you make a mistake, get another piece of paper and try it again till you like it. All right, so you're gonna fill your paper with your leaf prints. I did, on this size, I did maybe about 4. And here, this one is still wet. You can see I was experimenting. And then you just start filling in the background. So now you can switch over to your small brush, any color paint. And what I'm doing here is I'm just outlining the leaves. And you can fill in the whole background. This one I did earlier. This one, I love this one where I'm doing more stripes around it. It really highlights the leaf. This one I got a little too crazy with experimenting with shapes. But again, you can do clouds in the background. You could do dinosaurs in the background, Sean, if you want to. You could do stars. You could have bugs flying by, mountains, whatever you choose. For the eye project with the leaves, you can take, let's see if you can see this, you can take your smaller leaf, so front, back. Make sure my brush isn't too wet. Make sure my paint isn't too wet. See, now this, we can't really see. It's really covering. So maybe I might dab it just a little bit. And then I'm gonna take it and start making feathers. I like that. Take a different color. You can see I'm trying to dab it away. It's pretty cool. So you could fill the whole thing in for their fur with the leaves. You can give them ear leaf print ears. You could even do the beak. But this is just a different way of painting with watercolors, with dropping the paint in the center and just seeing what happens when it dries. So I also added like a black dot. This isn't dry yet, so we're gonna let it dry. And again, you can fill in the background. Let me show you this crazy characters. So here you see the leaf prints. I outlined my eyes with more watercolors. Not too thrilled with the black outline, but I love my crazy dog slash cat slash, I don't know what kind of eyes those are, but they're crazy. So have fun with it. Please share your finished projects with me so I can see how it went.